Okay, what's up everyone? Today I'm going to show you guys how to use an outboard compressor within FL Studio or any outboard gear. The theory stays the same. So the first thing you want to do is set up your routing, and if you guys can see, I've got a microphone on the screen right there. I'm just under the table right now. So, and let's just say we want to use the microphone to go to the compressor. We'll have to first set up an output from the compressor. So right now I've got the microphone going into input 2, so that's input 3, input 2 is in the front, and then we got to go into the input of the compressor, because if you know how routing works, it goes output, input, or inputs there. So we'll go out of output 3, out of the left side, because that's the mono side, and we'll, this is not tied down, we'll go into the input of the compressor. So once we've done that, we would then want to go vice versa. Let me just get this cable, and we want to go out of the output of, let's get that out the way, the output of the compressor into a new input, whichever one you'd like. Let's just go for input 3. So I'll say that again. We go into the microphone input, right? So microphone input 2, output 3, into compressor input, compressor output, into input 3. It's a bit complicated, but that's how we'll do it. I'll just try and zoom in quickly, just if you guys can't really see. So output 3, into compressor input. Once the compressions happen, we go out of the compressor, back into FL Studio. Sweet, I'll check you guys back on the other side. As you can see, my input recording from the microphone is input 2, and you can see I'm using output to output 3. We saw on the back that we go out of the interface via output 3 into the compressor, out the compressor into input 3 and 4. So input 3 and 4 and output 3 and 4 are separate things, so don't think that they're linked. They're completely different. So cool, many reasons why you could use a compressor. I mean, for speech right now, I'll just show you some examples. You can hear some background noise. The cool thing about the compressor is it has a gate on it, so if you just listen to the noise, there we go, we've got very minimized noise now. We could use it to compress, or we could use it just to amplify our signal. So you can see my signal's not that hot right now. I can turn it up quite a bit, get a way better signal, mess around with the gate some more, and there you go, man. That's awesome. So what I'll do is I'll just use my digital noise gate just so you can see the amount of compression happening, because for some reason this compressor uses both the LED for gate and compression. So cool, mic check. So you'll see I'll start adjusting the amount of compression. I'm just gonna try to get a bit more gain going into the compressor. And it's just, so we'll go for a very basic, like 2-to-1 compression. Three-to-1 compression. And there you can see I'm just kind of talking away from the mic just so I can see what's going on as well. Mic check. But there you go, we got some compression being applied right there. And I mean, this isn't the greatest sounding compressor. Maybe if you were working in a mix or something it'd sound a lot better, but for speech I wouldn't use this. I would just go all digital, because it's kind of a waste of time. But there are many things you could push through this compressor. You could push, for example, a snare drum or something like that. The biggest problem with using the outboard gear is in FL Studio is when it goes out of FL Studio and back into FL Studio, you've got some latency delay. For some reason, FL Studio, it doesn't really work well with calculating. I forget what it's called. Let me try to find that if I can remember. Oh, it's called time compensation delay. So it's set to automatic right now, but it doesn't really work well with Outboard Gear, and I can understand why. If you want to use something in real time, I suggest you use what is that software called? There's a different DAW. I'm sure Reaper you can do that. But really what I like to do is, let's say for example I wanted to record mic check testing 1 2 3, microphone check testing 1 2 3. Okay, so as you can see, obviously the return signal is a bit louder than the other, and because I'm recording at a low latency anyway, you can't really see much of a difference, but there is a slight difference, especially if you're recording at a higher buffer length. So I'm recording at 3 milliseconds and I don't have that many plugins on. We've got a 5 millisecond difference. So all that you'd want to do is maybe record a bit later, and then you can manually adjust. You know what I mean? You'd be able to manually adjust and then just get the audio back to its original position without the induced latency. Anyway, I hope this helped. Like, subscribe, keep it real, and peace.